Alrighty then. So now we just gonna wait a few minutes, see who else shows up. Let's see. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever see. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever be. Hey, I'm gonna be a rock star with your poo poo and everyone know. Hey Woody, how you doing, man? Hello there. How you doing? Hope you had a good weekend, my friend, and a good day as well. Do anything exciting? As always, of course, if you can like and share the stream to help see if we can get some more people in here, that'd be appreciated. Nothing exciting for me. I take it's just the same old, same old. Maybe that makes it a little better, picture a little better on YouTube, on the YouTube side of it. Alrighty then. That's it. We're just gonna wait a few minutes, see if some people show up. Let's see now. So nothing exciting for you, huh? Woody, just the same old, same old. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, see now. Let's see now. So yeah, so I was back. Oh, there's Batgoat. Hey, Batgoat. Bonjour. Cava bien. Little French there. I take it, Batgoat. Of course, as always, guys, and thank you for the likes and shares. I do appreciate that. Oh yeah, and Batgoat. I did remember the feature we were talking about after the stream the other day. So I don't know if you remember when I was reading over the that one comic where they were talking about the lady's check being returned to her because there were no funds, and then she thought, oh, well, the bank should have funds. I remember the actual feature. We read that previously and before too. Simpo Dell. Don't know if that rings a bell for you or not now, Mister. From our old buddy Simpo Dell. Even though it says two here, I think it's more like we have three people in here now, at least. Uh, I saw my little peanut yesterday. He's getting big. Ah, that's cool. Watching a grandkid get older, huh? Probably ought to be some fun. Aloha, bat goat from Woody Mueller. Oh yeah, Sempo Dell. He means well. Yeah. Yep. We know he does. Mon ami, Woody. Ah, you got the little French in you tonight, huh, bat goat? Little Frenchy. From feeling like you want to be over in the European theater. Hmm. So let's see, we're at 6:18. Got 3 people here. Wee wee, ho ho, doo doo. And a doody doo 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 doo, you too. Da, 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 da. Laugh out loud, just kidding, Mike. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh yeah. I do believe we have the counter keeps saying 2, but I know we have 3 people in here. Hmm. All right, so we're at 7.5 minutes. So maybe at the 8-minute mark, I'll go ahead and start kind of mentioning what we're going to be covering tonight. Um, there we go. There's a 3. Yeah, I'm hoping Leto will drop in here because I just saw Leto on Critical Blast stream a little while ago, so I'm hoping he'll drop in as well. Probably went to grab a bite to eat or something in between streams. Okay, so we're past the 8-minute mark, so good time to start. So tonight I've got 5 stories slated to go through. They're all from Bounding into Comic. Of course, the Arc Tunes roundup from Friday. That'll be the first story we'll look at. And according, once again, to the NPD book scan, apparently Marvel and DC failed to crack July's top 20 adult graphic novels once again, and My Hero Academia takes the 5 top spots. Let's see. Also on the night, what are we going to look at? The director of Interspecies Reviewers saying that there will be an anime adaptation to a horror comedy manga, Miruka-chan. As well as Crunchyroll announcing 5 series arriving on the streaming platform. And also the other one and apparently Marvel stands are angry at Marvel for promoting What If's Captain Carter. So I wonder what that's all about. I guess we'll get into those soon enough here. All right, so let's see. Oh, we got the likes are getting up there, so that's good. All right, so let's see. We're at 10 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the articles here. Get into the first one here. All right. So the first thing we're we're going to look at the Arctins Roundup, see how they're doing. They had I guess, the latest review article from them came from Dark Herald this past Friday. The Dark Herald, Arctoons Roundup for August 6th, 2021, written by the Dark Herald, published this past Friday. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. August 6th, 2021. Welcome to the Arctoons Roundup, bounding into comics weekly look at some of the best new and classic comics that Arcaven Comics has to offer. This week, we'll be catching up Chuck Dixon's newest webtoon about alien invasion and introducing two of Arctoon's most controversial titles. Whoa. Here we go. So the first thing is Something Big by Chuck Dixon. In the 80s, comic publishers were routinely pushing the kind of boundaries that no one really can today without being denounced as problematic, quote unquote. And while the big two still dominated the sales chart for the first time, indie titles routinely outsold various DC and Marvel titles to find their way onto the leaderboards. One of the most prolific comic book authors at the time of all time, it should come as no surprise that Dixon himself was not only a huge part of the overall comic culture at the time, but that he also burst onto the scene of the indie comics movement in its early Wild Wild West days, writing such titles as Evangeline Airboy, Strike Valkyrie, and criminally forgotten Alien Legion. Whatever they came here for, it wasn't to make friends. The only good news for humanity in Something Big is that the alien invaders, the Gorks, don't care enough about the local indigenous natives to finish them off once and for all. They wiped Sao Paulo off the face of the earth. Then they settle down to the work they came to do. Unfortunately, the flip side is that they won't care about what state the planet will be left in when they leave, assuming they ever do. All over the world, they're mining. Awakener by Luciano Cunha. Brazilian powerhouse Super Prumos, The Awakener, has been considered very controversial, particularly in light of current year politics. What is the difference between a terrorist and a freedom fighter? Who has the power to define the man who thinks of himself as a patriot as a traitor? What drives men to give up on legal political opposition and spend the rest of their lives being hunted? Boom! These are the kinds of difficult and penetrating questions that controversial comic book author Luciano Cunha Cunha dares to explore in The Awakener, which tells the story of one man's war against a monolithically oppressive regime. Yeah, especially when you saw kind of the hoopla that happened the other day over that stage play over in Japan where the Digimon Tamers actors were reading a script where political correctness was the great evil and cancel culture was an attack. Government government forces are still after the suspect responsible for the explosion in Congress. Whoa, that kind of looks like kind of a white, maybe a lighter toned version of Kamala Harris, maybe. State wants me found. They want me dead. They're using my actions to turn the country upside down. As usual, blacks, mulattoes, and the poor feel the iron hand of authority. The whole weight of government, weight of government spheres, bureaucrat, and corporation is falling on a haystack in search of a needle. I carry on the war regardless. Can't even think about peace or quiet now. Every day that passes, some new scandal makes me bolder. I feel my body aging. No way for me, not anymore. Treason doth never prosper. What's the reason for it? For if it prosper, none dare call it treason. John Harrington. I was wrong to think that the symbolic effect of exploding Congress would make a lick of difference. When you've got a dozen people controlling the media complex of an entire nation, the word democracy becomes only a label. Blowing up Congress wasn't enough. You got to blow up all the other entities too that are contributing to the. One scandal blows the wind out of the previous one's sails. The public forgets about the attack on Congress. Alt Hero by Vox Day. In my opinion, Alt Hero is perhaps the most controversial title in comic books since Alan Moore's Watchmen. And I am not being hyperbolic. Alt Hero's creation contributed in part to the recent splintering of the big two, as many of the mainstream comic book writers and artists left the veteran publishers to go form Comic State, which eventually led to the second split between the Comic State community and author Vox Day's Arkhaven Comics. So basically, what he's saying, you had one split, and then you had another split. Telling the story of an ordinary world which is suddenly charged by the sudden development of superpowers by seemingly random individuals, Alt Hero sees Vox Day examine the most likely reaction that 20th or 21st century governments and individuals would have towards the world's paradigm shifting without a clutch. Um, while I could attempt to sup up Alt Hero's complex story in a few paragraphs, doing so would fail to properly convey many of its nuances. Thus, if you want to find out what all the fuss is about, I recommend reading it for yourself, as the first two stories are complete and have now been converted to webtoon format for Arctoons. This is from the second story, Meet Shiloh Summers. Interesting how they bring in a Summers name, considering, Oh, hello. Given that she soon takes up the codename Rebel, and she's got a Confederate flag brassiere, by the way, it should come as no surprise that she's not really one of Nature's team players. GD Yankee bastards. Some of Rebel's friends even drop by for a visit after she finds herself in jail. I'll scout ahead. Go on. Hammer, it's your turn, big guy. Wait, oh, I'm sorry. Go on. Hammer, it's your turn, big guy. How'd she do? How'd she do that? Meet Charles Martel, also known as a Hammer. I guess there was a typo there. There will be another chapter starting up shortly where we get to meet the other heroes that chose to work for quote unquote the greater good. Well, you certainly have your uses. Living clean, friend. That's it for this week's Arctunes Roundup. If you would like to see your comic book on Arctunes, please send your submissions to submissions at archaven.com. Arctune's model is that great stories belong to the world. If you would like to support the website, please consider buying a subscription, while Archaven titles on Arctunes will remain free to all forever. Independent creators will soon have the option of being directly supported by their patrons. See you next week. All right, so there's that story. See what you guys are saying before we get on to the next. See if there's any. Leto's here finally. Yay, Leto! As always, guys, of course, I do thank you and appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. So I hope you guys have been helping me out with that. It is very appreciated. Oh, let's see what's been going on since I. Let's check the thing here. Is that a riddle? Because I say smell. The difference between terrorist and freedom fighter. It's funny, believe me. Well, maybe not, because history may mark one person's terrorist and another person's freedom fighter. You know, like, sure, if you go back to 1776, the King of England probably thought the colonists were acting like terrorists or being terrorists. Oh, hey. Um, I'm coming around now, Mike. I hate Vox Day as a dude, but that comic is pretty right on. Yeah, I mean, back up. We don't always have to like the person to enjoy the work. Okay, we can. It is possible to separate the two. Anyways, I'm gonna go off camera for a quick sec here, guys, because it's getting dim around here, so I gotta turn on some lights here. So I'll be right back. All right. Anyway, sorry, was in the restroom. Yeah, I saw you earlier on Critical Blast stream there. Hey, Mike. Leto. Hey, Bat Goat. Hey, Woody. How are y'all? Also, I'm editing quick video. It's a slow news week, so it's hard to make a funny a day. Yeah, I know how that is, Leto. Sometimes, like last week was a little bit on the slow side. So, um, doing fine, Leto. Thanks from Woody. I don't know. Can't like a R. Kelly song at all. Yeah, it was a good topic since I was on the fence about watching the new Suicide Squad, but I think I'll see it. Yeah. All right, so let's yes, I'm getting those likes up there. That's good to see. All right. So anyways, all right, so here's the next article we're going to read. Actually, let me check the time, see how we're doing. Okay, 28 minutes in. So that's kind of it. Look at that hand. Of course, that's from Jujutsu Kaisen, I believe. Anyways, here's the next story we're going to look at. Marvel and DC Comics failed to crack July's top 20 adult graphic novels list. My Hero Academia takes five spots. So, you as we've been, I know y'all Flash has reported on this several times. I've kind of covered it a little bit too. It's like, yeah, this is just showing total fail on Western comics, the graphic novel side of it. So, article by John F. Trent published today. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. Marvel and DC once again failed to crack the NPD BookScan's top 20 adult graphic novels list in July, which I think that makes it what the third or fourth straight month that's happened. And they're getting trounced. So here's Chainsaw Man. Whoa. One by Tatsuki Fujimoto. While Marvel and DC Comics didn't crack the list for the first time in 4 months, the list was not completely owned by manga titles. ICV2 reports that Clint McElroy in first, second books, The Adventure Zone, The Crystal Kingdom, broke into the top 20, placing second. The hardcover version of the book also placed fourth. Yen Press manhwa Solo Leveling Volume 2 by Chonggong also broke into the top 20, placing eighth. Hmm. Aside from these three titles, the rest of the charts were indeed dominated by manga, specifically manga from Viz Media. Although Kodansha and Yen Press had books on the list as well, Chainsaw Man Volume 1 topped the charts with Kohei Horikoshi's My Hero Academia Volume 28 coming in third. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1 came in fourth. There's from My Hero Academia, Kohei Horikosha. Horikoshi. Horikoshi's My Hero Academia would actually take three other top spots on the list. My Hero Academia, Volume 27, came in ninth. My Hero Academia Volume 10 came in 14th. And My Hero Academia Volume 2 came in 18th. My Hero Academia Vigilantes Volume 10 by Hideyoki Furuhashi placed in 14th. Jujutsu Kaisen also took the 17th spot with Volume 6. Junji Ito had a number of titles in the top 20. The Uzumaki 3-in-1 Deluxe Edition came in 6th. Tomie Complete Deluxe Edition hardcover came in 13th. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's from Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. Koyoharu Gotogi. Other titles on the top 20 chart include Attack on Titan Volume 1 and Volume 2, coming in 7th and 15th. Death Note Black Edition Volume 1 came in 10th. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Volume 1 came in 11th. Hunter x Hunter Volume 1 placed in 12th. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 22 was 16th. One Punch Man Volume 1 was 19th. And Naruto Volume 1 finished off the top 20 in 20th. What do you make of the latest top 20 graphic novels list? NPD Book Channel. Well, I think they're kicking Western comics butt, as they have been for the last few months. That's been pretty obvious. So let's see what's going on. Maymay's here. Hey, Maymay. Oh, and Kevin the Fox. Okay, so let's get kind of caught up with everybody here. Hey, everyone. Hey, Maymay. Don't want to get a hand job by that guy. Oh, boy. Yeah, you probably wouldn't. Hey, Maymay. There's Kevin the Fox. Hey, Mikey. Well, I go by Mike, Kevin, but... Hey, Maymay. From back up at Low Chat. Don't worry, he doesn't have it out. Hey, Goat. How are you? Maybe asking Leto Enchanted. Yeah, I need to read the first half of Chainsaw Man. I'm good, Mimi, and you from Leto? Kind of all right. Hi, Mimi from Woody. And he replies back, hi, Woody, what's up? Let's see. Good, just from work, and I know I'll be more tired tomorrow. I have to go get the vaccine. Oh, what? They're not letting you go. They're not letting you work if you don't get the vaccine, Leto. It's kind of, huh? Why though? Are they forcing you, Leto? My daughter refuses, and she is a scientist. We all know that she will get fired from her hospital eventually. I'm ready for another 1776. Yeah, I think we're all getting to that point, Fat Goat. I think we're all getting to that point. Oh boy. Responds to back up. Yeah, unfortunately. But I honestly don't care. Now that's sad, man. Not right. Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny because not that I want to get too much into politics here, but and going back to Batgoat saying, how he's ready for a 1776, and I was saying that, yeah, a lot of people are. Um, there's some controversy that came out last week, where I guess the Georgia representative Marjorie Taylor Greene essentially told Biden, "Hey, you send anybody coming around Georgians' home, they'll have something ready for you." Um, Everyone will capitulate, get the dang saline shot, and then they have won. But what do I know? My wife got it already to it, so it's matter of time. Plus, I got so many concerts coming up, and venues will be open and have to ask for a stupid vaccine ID. Yeah, that's unconstitutional. I personally agree with Backup, though we do need another 1776. Of course, I've been saying that for a while, but OD. Anyways, let's get off of that topic and get back to let's get off of that subject and move on, get back to more happier stuff, as it were. All right, so now we're gonna look at some anime news here. Horror comedy manga Miruko-chan to receive anime adaptation helmed by Interspecies Reviewer Director in October 2021. Um, Article by Spencer Bakuli, published published Friday, August 6th, 2021. Anime adaptation of Isumi Tomoki's horror comedy manga series, Miruko-chan, has been announced for a spooky October 2021 release. Based on the Kadokawa Comic Walker, the publisher's digital manga magazine equivalent to their competitor Shonen Jump Plus, of the same name, Miruko-chan follows the story of Miko Yotsuya, a young high school student who, after awakening one day to find that she can see the terrifying spirits that haunt the regular world and realizing that nobody else can see them, attempts to do her best to simply ignore them. To little but hilarious avail. Um, according to the announcement, the series is set to be animated by the Passione Anime Studio, Interspecies Reviewers, Higurashi When They Cry, Go Sotu, under the direction of Interspecies Reviewers director Yuki Ogata. Is Miruko-chan Passione. Alongside the adaptation's confirmation, Passione also released two new pieces of series key art available in both normal and visible versions. The first showing Miko and fellow classmate Kaede Hondo within the walls of their school. Oh, there you go. Where the two where the two are being stalked by an imposing ghost. Whoa! That ghost looks like it's about ready to take a bite out of one of them. And the second showing a singular Miko checking her phone while walking alone at night. I'm gonna eat my unexpected guest. Whoa. Studio also released the character art and voice cast list for the series' main protagonist. According to the reveal, Miko Yotsuya will be voiced by Sora um, Armamiya, from the Japanese voice of Akame in Kame ga Kill and Aqua and Konosuba. Han Yorikawa will be brought to life by Kaede Hondo, um, Pony Sunotori in My Hero Academia, Sakura Minamoto in Zombieland Saga. And Ayane Sakura from Ochacho Oraka in My Hero Academia, the Japanese voice of it, of course. Alice Hiragi in Persona 5 Strikers will round out the trio as Yuria um, Nigaredo. To celebrate the news of the series' leap to animation, Tomoki shared a new illustration in which the girls can be seen being haunted by celebratory spirits with his fans. Miruko-chan will air on Tokyo MX sometime in October. Are you interested in checking out Miruko-chan's anime adaptation? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Sounds like an interesting one as long as it doesn't go woke. Hmm. Let's see what else is being said here. Yeah, but the concerts I paid for the tickets will go unseen if I do that. I think I've seen that manga, or I might have heard about it. I don't know. Ghost looks like the guy that has the books in Death Note. Oh yeah, um, Ryuk. I believe that's the guy. That's the Shinigami's name there. Laugh out loud. Um, a little, yeah, I see that. Laugh out loud. Sad. Lug knows their names, and I don't. Laugh out loud. Ah, crazy that that she does. That's a twisted anime to know at her age. Laugh out loud. Mhm. Well, I guess there was some. Guess there was some things I missed up here. retired medic. I can still get fired for talking about my. Still get. I can still get fired for talking about my patient contacts, but anyone can ask for my medical history. No, I will not comply. But again, I'm a jerk. I didn't mean get fired. I meant get in trouble. Yeah, that didn't sound like it made much sense. And then we read all of these already. Uh, Woke is the enemy of all comics. Yes, it is, Batgoat. Shinigami thinks. Um, well, the Shinigami is basically the species of what he is. Shinigami is Japanese for death god. The actual character's personal name is Ryuk. Um, but yeah, you're right. He does look. I guess you could argue that he looks like a Shinigami. All right, so now, guys, I'm going to step away from the screen, from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And I know there are a few things that came in after I left. So you watch New Bleach? If it goes on Toonami, I probably will. There's a new. Well, yeah, they were. I guess they're coming out with. I did hear that they're doing a manga to celebrate like 20 years, and I think there might be a new anime adaptation coming out as well. Today, on this day, Crunchyroll and Funimation are the same. I used a little baking soda. It's much safer than bleach and brightens whites up. All right. So anyways, as always, guys, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. Thank you all for that. Let's get into this next article. Crunchyroll announces 5 new series arriving on the streaming platform. Article by John F. Trent, published on Friday, the 6th. So, Crunchyroll announced 5 new series coming to the streaming platform during their industry panel at the virtual Crunchyroll Expo. 5 new series are Mug Love Alternative, The Faraway Paladin, The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest, Love of Kill, and Skeleton Knight in Another World. And I've seen Mug Love Alternative. It's okay. It's somewhat interesting. Mug Love Alternative tells the story of a group of humans who use tactical surface fighters to fend off any invasion. Basically, it's a mecha series, just to let you guys know. The official description reads, quote, story of the bonds between those who fight in a world pushed to its limits on one of the countless parallel worlds that exist throughout space-time. Humanity has fought a decade-long war against the Beta, hostile extraterrestrial invaders using humanoid fighting machines called tactical surface fighters. It concludes, quote, this is a story of how humanity lives and dies while on the brink of extinction. The series is expected to arrive on Crunchyroll sometime in fall 2021. Check out the trailer. The Faraway Paladin. Some good art there. The Faraway Paladin follows a young boy raised by the undead who trains him to become a paladin. The official description reads, quote, in the ruined city of the dead, far from human civilization, lives a single human child named Will. He is raised by 3 undead. Blood, the heroic skeleton warrior. Mary, the ladylike mummy priestess. And Gus, the crotchety ghost wizard. The 3 of them teach the boy what they know and pour their love into him. Unquote. Oh boy, that undead love. Oh boy. That's kind of okay. Undead love. It continues, quote, one day the boy begins to wonder, quote, who am I? Unquote. Will uncovers the mysteries of the undead hidden in this faraway land. He learns of the love and mercy of good gods, as well as the paranoia and madness of evil gods. And once he learns it all, the boy embarks on a path to become a paladin, unquote. This series is set to arrive on Crunchyroll fall 2021. Take a look at the trailer. You can probably go to YouTube to look at these trailers. The strongest sage with the weakest crest. The strongest sage with the weakest crest follows a powerful sage who is reincarnated and must prove his worth in a world that assumes he will fail. The official description reads, quote, his strength limited by the magical crest with which he was born, Matthias, the world's most powerful sage, decides reincarnation is necessary to become the strongest of all, unquote. It continues, quote, upon his rebirth as a young boy, Matthias is thrilled to discover that he's been born with the optimal crest for magical combat on his first try. Unfortunately, the world he's been born into has abysmally poor standards when it comes to magic, and everyone thinks he's still marked for failure, unquote. So he gets the strongest crest, but he gets it in the weakest world. Okay. Kind of an interesting oxymoron there. The description concludes, quote, now it's up to Matthias to prove everyone wrong, world's strongest stage style, unquote. The series will arrive on Crunchyroll in January 2022. Here's the trailer. Love of Kill. Love of Kill follows two assassins as they face off against each other. The official description states two assassins face off. The cool bounty hunter Chateau and the mysterious and powerful Ryangha. Chateau and Ryangha become enemies after this fight. At least they should have. But for some reason, Ryangha takes a liking to Chateau and begins following her around. Unquote. Oh boy. Dark love. It adds, quote, little by little, Chateau develops a cooperative partnership with Ryangha, which gets her caught up in the struggle against the organizations hunting him down. Furthermore, the battle is related to her past as well. Two mismatched assassins weave together a twisted, quote, Assassin X as Assassin X Assassin thriller. The strange gears of fate begin to move. Series is expected on Crunchyroll sometime in 2022. Take a look at the trailer. This video is unavailable for some reason, I guess. And did it happen with the other? Nope. Skeleton Knight in Another World. Oh man, a skeleton. Now talk. Well, the term has several meanings, of course, but whichever meaning you go by, it would be interesting to see a skeleton get a boner. Let's see. It looks like you guys have been having a bit of a good conversation here, so that looks like FMA. Juju on the beat. What's your favorite sandwich? And Job and JoJo Part 6 anime. Cheese, onion, and mayonnaise. Seeing that the new JoJo will be on Netflix. A little mad about that. I would think it would be better suited for Toonami. Non-Funimation or Defunimation. And don't forget about Bang Zoom out. And Solid's here saying hi to Leto. Hey, Solid, welcome to the stream. Always, guys, I do appreciate any of y'all like and shares. Helps get the word out. So hopefully, last but not least is Skeleton Knight in Another World. The Isekai series follows the Skeleton Knight as he unintentionally makes the world a better place. The official description says, quote, when Ark wakes up, he discovers that he has been transported to another world in the body of the character he was playing in an MMO. So actually, it sounds a little. Let's see, what was that one I watched earlier this year? It sounds a little bit like Log Horizon. Same premise for Log Horizon. Looking like a suit of armor on the outside and a skeleton on the inside, he is the skeleton knight. Unquote. Quote, if the identity is discovered, he could be mistaken for a monster and become a target. Ark decides to spend his time as a mercenary so as not to attract attention to himself, unquote. The description continues. It concludes, quote, however, he is not the kind of man who can stand idly by when he witnesses evil acts take place. Right before his eyes, the Isekai fantasy series about Skeleton Knight's unintentional quest to make the world a better place has arrived. No release date was announced. There we go with that one. And we're just past the hour mark, so let's see what's being said here. Let's see. Hey, Solid. How goes it, my friend? Is he's asking. Let's see. No luck in finding a place to live. Anonymous. Call 23. What's your favorite isekai? Is Ocean Studios bad? No, they're not a bad company. Let's see now. So we're up to 5 people, so that's good. Anyways. Alrighty then. So, I guess I'll get on to the next article here. The last main article of the night here. Past the hour mark already. Marvel stands angry at Marvel for promoting what if's Captain Carter. That's the one we're going to. Article written by John F. Trent, published earlier today. Marvel Cinematic Universe stands are upset that Marvel is promoting the upcoming What If show and Captain Carter on their Captain America accounts. The official Captain America account recently renamed itself to Captain Carter and featured a new bio that reads, quote, see Captain Carter in a new episode of Marvel Studios' What If, Wednesday on Disney+. Along with changing their name and bio, they also recently promoted the show with 2 new posters featuring Peggy Carter and Steve Rogers as their What If variants. In one tweet, they wrote, quote, see Peggy Carter and Steve Rogers in a whole new way this Wednesday when the first episode of Marvel Studios' What If starts streaming on Disney+. Another tweet featured a short 30-second clip from What If. It reads, quote, this Wednesday, reveal the secrets of the multiverse in Marvel Studios. What If and stream the first episode of the original series on Disney+. Yes, that's what she looked like right there. Peggy Carter, a British descent. Fans reacted to this change on Twitter on to the Twitter account and the promotion of Captain Carter with outrage and disappointment among other emotions. I wonder why. One user wrote, quote, Marvel couldn't wait to replace Sam Wilson with a white face. Oh, they're going to start crying racism again, huh? That why. Captain Carter is, I think, a British. Oh, God. Another wrote, the way that Marvel is doing more to show off Captain Carter, and they have been doing to show off Sam Wilson, who is actually Captain America, is something else. Twitter user Fangirl wrote Marvel with FATWS. We have a black cap, folks. The user added, quote, Marvel 5 minutes later, we're going to erase Sam Wilson from What If and give the cap mantle to an upper class British white woman that was in charge of recruiting Nazis. Oh, yeah, the Twidiots are crying racism again. Cry, cry, they all cry, crying racism all of the time. They don't have anything better to do than cry. Cry, 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 racism. That's all they seem to do is cry. Crying racism's all they're good for. Anyways, Loki, Loki's Verity, Loki's Verity wrote, "Look, I'm excited. I'm excited for Peggy content, but not like this. She's not even Captain America. Make a new account for Captain Carter and put Sam Wilson back where he belongs." Armor Wars wrote, "We'll only accept this if they also changed Guardians of the Galaxy's account to a picture of T'Challa as Star-Lord or something because it's really weird to remove Sam Wilson like that when you could just market this show through, What If Twitter account." Yeah, that's all they want to do is just cry racism. Caps Marvelette tweeted, "How are they going to put her on the Captain America page when she's sporting straight British wear? Give this account back to Sam Wilson and make her a new one." Well, I think because Captain Carter in this, because there is a, I think as I understand it, I think there is a Captain Britain in Marvel Comics who is the British complement to Captain America, and in this case, Captain Carter is their Captain Britain. So that's how you get that. Anyways, Civil War wrote, "I can't believe Marvel changed the Captain America page from Wilson to Peggy. It's not fake." Bucky Cap wrote, Not even a Sam Wilson PFP once. Um, Not even a Captain Wilson DN ever. Um, all we got was the header and bio, which were both not visible unless you click the profile. Eternal Wilson simply declared, "Bring the Sam Wilson layout back." What If arrives on Disney Plus on Wednesday, August 11th. That's this Wednesday. What do you make of the outrage, disappointment, and other? I think it's stupid. These Marvel stands are expressing towards Marvel for changing the official Captain America account, Captain Carter, in order to promote the upcoming What If series on Disney Plus. I think it's stupid because the series is What If, so you're going to explore as many options in a What If scenario as possible. Um, it's kind of stupid to sit there and cry about it. The French version of Captain America is called Captain Surrender. I I think I kind of get that joke. Anyway, so that's all the main stories for tonight, guys. I just picked out 5 of them. So yeah, so we're at an hour 13. So is there anything you guys wanted to talk about? Let's see. I did see Anonymous Kathy asked if. Oh no, they're not a bad company. I'd say they're a pretty good company. Um, Good stories, Mike. Well, thank you, Leto. I try. Yeah, I think from what I've learned, the founding in the comic stories tend to have a little more bite to them, a little edgier than the. Now, granted, I like doing the lighter stories and the release type stories as well. But if you really want to get into something you can commentate on, founding in the comics is pretty good. It's just that it's not like they publish stories every single day, though. Or sometimes, like today, we got 5 stories, and then there may only be 1 or 2 that come out tomorrow, and then maybe Wednesday none, and then 1 or 2 come more out on Thursday. So I mean, or any which way you think about it. Yeah. Stories. No, I got nothing. Laugh out loud. So I mean, Bat Goat, Woody, May May, Leto, you all still here? Sound off, 1, 2, sound off, 3, 4. Everyone knows hit the floor, da 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 da. SJWs cry like a bunch of little eyes. They just want to whine, 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 like swine. They're mine, so blind. I'm here. Just got nothing to talk about. Yeah, yeah. Letta, I saw you. As I said, I saw you on Critical Blast stream earlier, and then I was on Critical Blast last night with him for the open mic night. So I came, and that actually it's kind of funny. A little heads up for you guys. He didn't. He didn't. Even, he. It wasn't until after his open mic night that he had decided to have Mr. Hop on because he didn't know what he was going to do for today until. And it's kind of funny because we were discussing something, and he got the idea to bring Mr. Hop on and talk about Suicide Squad. So that was pretty interesting. Let's give them something to talk about. Little Bonnie Raitt right there. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we can push the time a little bit here. So anybody else? So we know Leto's here. We got at least 3 people here, but I'm pretty sure there's more than that. Batgoat, Woody, May, Solid, you guys here? Oh, Drexel, Lord of Simpson Cups is here too. Hey, Drexel. Just missed the main story. Boo, boo. Thumbs up, thank you. Let's see. We tired and old. Yeah. Hey, Drex. Roll call. Just lurking. All right. Well, I'm glad you at least acknowledged. That helps. I was listening to Flashcast on Saturday night, and apparently Flash and his only just discovered madness of Chris Chan for the first time. Yeah, I had never up until some of the like little quiet rumblings that have been going on here. I guess over the past couple weeks here, I had never really heard of Chris Chan either. Basically, as I understand it, he's, I guess, transgender who got in trouble because apparently, I don't know if it was out of anger or whatever, but basically assaulted his 79-year-old mother, and obviously was not cool. So, and of course, because he's saying that he identifies as a woman, there, and one of the other things that they were talking about, he wants to be, I guess they're going to place him in the women's population in the prison. So, been watching the documentary of it. Very interesting. I don't really care. You know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I did actually go back and watch Michael Long's interview with Nick. I know Backgoat. I know you were saying that you were saying he's like a space cowboy. Um, I kind of watched a good chunk of that 6-hour video or 6-hour interview. Um, you want to kind of remind me what your if the issue was him being like spiritual and being, wanting to check out a bunch of different religions, I don't think there's anything too weird about that. I don't like, again, I don't get what your issue was with that. Now that I've seen it, I mean, they talked mostly about the situation with Sophie. So, Kiwi Farms is claiming he's been the test subject of a CIA thought control experiment. Yeah, I don't really. I don't really look too much into Kiwi Farms. Let's see now. Let's see. So we're at hour and 21 minutes. Well, if there's not much else to talk about, guys, there's nothing else you guys want to talk about, oh, there's Backout. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, he's a weirdo. That's what I meant by Space Cowboy. He threatened his ex with a magic spell. That's when Bat checked out on that dude. Okay, yeah, I heard that exchange. Um, I my interpretation based on what he was saying in the interview there, I don't really know if he was serious there, Backo. I think he may have, I don't think he was like, the way he made it sound, I don't think he was serious. I mean, I don't think he was legitimate. He may have like been teasing her or whatever, based on how he put it. Um, you know, that's just my impression based on the context at which I was watching it there, because like one of the other things in that whole exchange and talk, when as Nick was talking to him about his spirituality and looking at different forms of religions and stuff like that. That's apparently one of the things that Kelly is trying to use against him to try to get Sophie and the kids away from him. Is that he's just weird. I based on what because I did watch that. I did watch that. I watched. I mean, I cut ahead a few times, but towards the end because it was starting a little redundant. But that particular exchange, I don't think he was seriously threatening her. Okay. Again, you may have a different interpretation of that. It could have been that it was just so late at night. Maybe you were tired. Maybe you didn't. But yeah, he came off too talky. Well, I mean, he was there to tell a story, Leto. I mean, had to talk a little bit about it. Should have let the paperwork speak for itself. Well, that the whole point though was Nick was trying to get him on to talk about his side of the story, you know. And you can't do that if you're not willing to be a little talky. He went to that quote unquote not serious well one too many times. Whatever, Mike. The dude is a fruitcake, and most people don't believe the way he does. I'm allowed to think. Yeah, I agree with you, Backo. I'm not okay. Don't mistake what I'm doing as okay. You obviously feel the way you do. I said I'd take a look at the interview myself. I have a different interpretation on it. Okay, we have different interpretation. That's okay. Um, you think he's got issues? I don't see that. I mean, people might argue that usually I'm the one leading this conversation, but I talk about it, and I know we've talked before about the idea of wanting to go off into other worlds, right? You into like Smurfs and me to the comics. People might think we're space cowboys because of that, Um, it's just a matter of perspective, matter of, you know, but as I said, I went back to look it over, and I didn't really, I didn't necessarily see it in the same light you guys did, but that's okay. You know, that's one thing we may just disagree on. We can agree to disagree. You know. Um, that's okay. So, um, but I know the big concern right now, or the big thing right now, is that Michael apparently may have taken off with Sophia, or is keeping her out of Collin County. Um, Michael's reasoning, as I understand it, is for her safety, but the judges there have basically issued an arrest warrant for him if he does happen to step back into Collin County. So, if anything, there may be mental issues on both sides. Okay, he showed the video of, I guess, an exchange with Kelly where the amicus attorney there was interjecting and was basically telling Sophie, "Hey, look, if you don't go with your mom, your daddy's going to jail." And I know Nick was all over that. I know other people who've probably talked about this has been all over that. And then, of course, now, Kelly's attorneys are trying to shut, like, Nick down. They're trying to shut Tug down because Tug even did a video on it earlier today. Well, let's see. Nick did a video, and I watched that too, in which the Laura Elkind had claimed that he had said that he got, like, Ken Jennings, Kiwi Farms Ken Jennings fired from his job or something like that with the cease and desist order. But Nick apparently put her in her place, and then Tug did a video on that too today. It's like, and Tug made a very interesting point about it. The more you try to shut people up about something, the more you're just going to piss them off enough to where they're just going to talk about it more. Sometimes it's just, sometimes it's just best and I know that's kind of what you were saying too earlier, Leto, with what you thought Michael should have done there. But sometimes less is more, But let's see. I mean, he did tell his story, but then I can tell even Nick had some pauses, like maybe you shouldn't say this much, but of course he's not his lawyer, and so was gonna hear it out. Well, yeah, I mean, if Nick may have had that reaction. I didn't see that reaction myself from watching it, but I would imagine that as a lawyer, Nick probably was thinking, if he did have that reaction that you just said, Leto, Nick was probably thinking, yeah, you probably shouldn't say that because the lawyers could always come clip this and then use it against you. It's like, that's part of Miranda rights, right? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. Now, granted, this is more of a custody issue than anything else, but it's still, that concept still applies. Sometimes you don't want to say too much to where they can use it against you. So, yeah, it definitely seemed like that, Leto. Well, one other thing too that I don't know if you guys caught this as well, but I know early on in the interview, Michael did acknowledge that he had ADHD. Okay. Now, sometimes people with either ADHD or even people with autism, like myself, sometimes we may volunteer more information than is necessary. There are certain developmental disabilities where you don't have a strong filter. Like, whereas some people may think, like what we were talking about, like Nick was saying, okay, maybe in the back of his head he was saying, well, Michael, maybe you should. He didn't say it to Michael, but he said it to, he probably in his own thought process was going, hey, Michael, maybe you shouldn't have said that. I'm sure you guys probably had the same feeling there. But you know, but again, it's a matter of perspective. Everybody's got their own perspective, and that's all right. That's true, Mike. You know, or you're saying that was true based on what I was saying about ADHD and autism, certain developmental disabilities. It's a difficult case, very interesting one too. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people out there, particularly parents, who are seeing how, in particular, Sophie is being treated here. And there are a lot of people who are probably getting very upset about it. And the fact that people like Rakeda Law and like Nick and Tug and Memology and all of them are bringing light to this. Like people in Kelly's corner are not happy about it. People who are acting on, and Grant, Nick has explained that the amicus attorney is supposed to be representing the child in that case, which I don't know about this new guy, Jonathan Helms, but that one lady, Rachel Lee, was not. She was not representing the child's interest, because I think even an amicus attorney would have realized, hey, if she's really making this much of a stink here, then maybe we should just let father take her home. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. Yeah. All right. So now we finally did get past the hour and a half mark here. So yeah, I know people are wanting to talk about the Sophie case as well because of what's going on, and now there's a lot of stuff going on because again, the big story right now is Michael did not. I guess he was supposed to bring Sophie to court, and he didn't. And they've now issued an arrest warrant in Collin County. Like if he sets foot back in there, then they're going to arrest. But as Nick even explained it, now Grant, Nick, because I watched the portion of Nick's stream with Drex where they talked about the court case, so I watched some of the stuff that Nick done on the Sophie case and stuff recently, the stuff that's been talked about the last couple of weeks. And Nick made the point, and it's a very good point. Michael had a big decision, had kind of a very hard decision to make. Do you protect your child or do you comply with the court? I mean, if you can, because he knows that he feels that if he gives Sophie back to them, then her life is in danger. They have a lot of the medical records and the forensic interviews that the doctors and nurses did with her when Courtney, Michael, I guess now they're separated, but Michael's wife took Sophie to see, when she was complaining. So. Nick mentioned something about horrifying court decisions for tonight's stream. Wonder if it's got anything to do with Sophie Long. There's a good chance. Maybe. I mean, remember so apparently there was a hearing last week in which Michael was supposed to bring Sophie to the court, and he didn't. Because what they would have made him do, what they were going to do is they were going to transition Sophie into Kelly's care, and then they were going to probably try to arrest Michael at the courthouse there. But but Michael is doing what he feels he needs to do to protect his child. There might be some legal ramifications because of that. That's the thing that Nick talked about, you know. But I think one of the other things, and this is why a lot of the people involved are trying to shut people like Nick and Tug and Memology and Kiwi Farms Ken Jennings, people who are in Kelly's corner, that's why they're trying to shut them up. Because they don't want that hot spotlight on them. Okay? I think the more we start looking at, and it's funny because Tug mentioned this in his video too. The more you try to shut somebody up, the louder they're going to get. Okay? Okay, if you really didn't want the spotlight on you, you should just be quiet and let them speak. It will eventually, unless, of course, you really do have something to hide. And I think from what we're seeing from all this is Collin County courts are a very corrupt court system. Collin County courts of Collin County, Texas, is probably a very corrupt court system there. And they don't like the burn of that spotlight. They don't like the fact that Nick, Tug, and Memology, and Kiwi Farms Ken Jennings, and even myself to a lesser degree, because I'm talking about it now, but they don't like the burn of that spotlight. For them, as we're, as the commentators on YouTube, as they start looking at it a little deeper, and the videos get out more of the exchanges and what's happening, as more people, they were even talking about it on the interview too. There have been a lot of in Frisco and in Collin County there. There have been a lot of protests at the sheriff's departments over the Sophie case. And a lot of those who are involved on Kelly's side do not like the feel of that burn of that spotlight. And I think is showing in their collective behaviors and actions. Yeah. So as Drexel, Lord of Simpson Cucks, was pointing out, so tonight, Nick for tonight, World of Hurt, A World of Hurt, James Younger, Vigilante Justice, Paid, COVID Shills, and more. That's what's going on Nick's show tonight. Maybe they won't be talking about the Sophie case, but maybe he will, maybe he won't. But maybe some of that's going on. But anyways, we're an hour 40, guys. So I went on quite a bit of a rant there on the Sophie Long case. But I did watch it, and we can agree to disagree on what some of the issues there. But I think we're all still cool. I hope. I hope there's no hard feelings. So, guys, what do you say we start to wrap up here? Are you guys ready for this day in each history? I hate Mike. Oh, come on. Re. Oh boy. I hope that's a joke. Um, does ATC and Dave Mark still coming? Well, ATC was the only reason ATC hasn't been here in the last week solid is because he's got a new job, so I think he's been having to go to bed early. I did see him last night on the open mic night. Dave Marks hasn't been in a while, but again, I think he's just as usual. He's just protesting YouTube altogether. It has nothing to do with like here. Wrap it up. Okay. Um, Hail Xenu, fellow T Gakian. Yeah, Robert, you kind of got in a little late, man. We're pretty much done. I already went through a lot of the main stories. I'm about to do history right now. We're about to wrap up, but thank you for coming in. And if you want to go back and look over the material covered, the stream will remain up. So if you do want to like and share the video, that will help too. Do appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in. Hopefully, hopefully next time, which will be tomorrow night, because I do this Monday through Friday. Just kidding, of course, my friend. Okay, I'm glad. I hope that whole thing didn't. He working boy, yeah, and that's what I just explained about ATC. Sorry, next time. Yeah, just Robert. Just know we're on Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't know where exactly you're at in the country, so but hopefully but I hope to see you here tomorrow night on time. But anyways, we're about to wrap up here. So without any further ado, we're going to take a look back at this day in each history. Today is Monday, August the 9th, 2021. I like that hashtag logo. Yeah, okay. Today is Monday, August the 4th, or August the 9th, rather, 2021. So we're going to take a look. So without any further ado, we're going to take a look back at this day in each history. And I've only got a couple of things for you guys tonight. So bear with me here. First off, we're going to go back 10 years ago today, as on this date in 2011, during a SmackDown taping, 10 years ago today, Cody Rhodes defeated Ezekiel Jackson for the Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown. So at the SmackDown taping from 10 years ago on this day, which would have aired that Friday. So today being the 9th, so it would have aired on the 12th of that year. Cody Rhodes defeated Ezekiel Jackson for the Intercontinental Championship. Happened on this date 10 years ago today. And last but not least, on this date, 40 years ago today, back in 2017, the 985th issue of Action Comics, which I believe was part of Volume 1, went on sale on this date in 2017. So on this date, 2017, which was 4 years ago today, the 985th issue of Action Comics went on sale today, edited by Mike Cotton. The story was Only Human Part 1, written by Rob Williams, art drawn by Guillermo March, lettered by Rob Lee, and colored by Brian Miller. So there we go. On this date, 4 years ago today, the 985th issue of Action Comics, which is now, of course, a Superman feature, went on sale on this date. Let's see those last couple of comments, and then we will I remember someone here mentioned a wrestling team called the Ding Dongs not long ago. Still can't believe that level. Well, yeah, that was probably that might have been like me or Batgoat. Actually, it might not even have been here. Well, let's see. I guess it was here because I don't know if you go over to Critical Blast open mic night because we talked about it there too. But yeah, there was back in the late '80s. There was a tag team in Jim Crockett promotion called the Ding Dongs. They were kind of a jobber team that was just simply meant to get guys over, basically. So they didn't last too long. They only lasted a handful of matches. So, anyways, guys, I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all the likes and shares. Let's see, new comments came in. It was definitely here, probably about a week or so ago. Yeah, probably when if we were talking about, yeah, maybe Woody mentioned it because he was, yeah, there was a team called the Ding Dongs, though. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it when you guys join me. I hope you guys get a lot out of the information that I present. Hope you guys enjoy it. And I will hopefully see you back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Night all. Catch you next time. Yep. I truly hope to see you, Robert. This was a good stream. Peace. Yep. Bye, Mike. Bye, Robert. Bye, Drek. All right, guys. I will see you. Okay. Bye. As yeah, Woody's doing my catchphrase there. See y'all at next. All right. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.